Hi, my name's Seliena Coyle and I'm an artist based in Derry in the Northwest, and I've been asked by ArtsCare to do a few videos of some projects that maybe you could do while you're in lockdown and not have many things to do something creative. So we're going to do a very simple printmaking project. So hopefully you can see this. I've done this on a tea towel, and I've used leaves. I'll show you later what leaves are best, but leaves from the garden, so you can go outside within your respective garden or when you're on your walk and collect some leaves for this. And you don't need many, but I'll explain which ones are the best to pick when you do go on that walk. So I'm going to talk you through the materials and supplies and tools you're going to need for this. They're not many. Most you'll have in the house or ArtsCare may provide for you, but I've kept it very simple and to a minimum. So we'll start here with the ink. Now the ink I use for this project is called Calico Safe Wash, and this is a really good ink. It's got a nice texture, and what's great about this ink is that you can use it for printing on paper or printing on textiles, which is what we're going to do today, and it's washable, so that's why it's called Safe Wash. You don't have to iron it, but you do have to, once you've printed, leave your printed object for at least 4 days, because it bonds with the fabric, and then it can be washed in a 30-degree or 40-degree wash. So that is available. I get mine online. Like most supplies, I think you can get it on Amazon, but you can check yourself. The tubes they're quite expensive, not too bad, but they last a long time. You don't need to use a lot. So you're going to need a roller, a printmaking roller, and then a piece of acrylic or plastic so that you can roll your ink on and it's nice and flat. So these are going to be really handy. So you're going to want to use some wipes, because this can get very messy, and because we're making something like a tea towel or something to use, we want it to be nice and clean. You're going to need something to press and apply pressure like you would if you're running it through a printing press. So we're going to use what most people have in their house, a rolling pin. And then I have a little hack, a little neat trick that you're going to be able to use, because when we're doing this process it can get kind of tricky holding the leaves. They're a bit fiddly. So today we're going to use some self-adhesive sticky paper. So the paper that you just peel back, it's usually used for making labels. So you can see, peels away. We don't need the yellow part, we just want the sticky part, and we're going to leave that with the sticky side up for later. A pair of scissors. If you want, you can use some gloves, or if you've got the wipes just to keep your hands clean, or you don't want to get your hands dirty with the ink, you can use some gloves. Now the things that you can print, IKEA is a great source for this. They've got really nice plain cream cushion covers, so we might try one of those later. Tote bags, again, you can get these online. They're quite cheap. Again, Amazon or eBay, you can buy some, a couple of pounds each, and then you have your own tote bag, and obviously it's eco-friendly, so you have your bag for shopping. And then if you have a little person in your life, you could get a very simple white t-shirt or white vest even, and we could print this. We might try one of these later. But what we're going to do today is we're going to do a simple tea towel, and again, these were from IKEA, cotton tea towel, very cheap, because they're for use in the kitchen, so they're not the highest quality. They're quite thin, but perfect for what we're going to do today. So I'm going to take you through the steps, step by step, and we'll see how we get on. Hi, so step one, we're going to talk about the leaves, and the best leaves that are the best for printing this kind of technique. So, right now, because we're hitting late spring, early summer, we've got an abundance of really beautiful greenery out there. So you're going to want to choose not too big leaves. You don't want them too big because they'll fill your page. You want to have a few different varieties. What's really important is that the leaves, when you turn them over to their back side, that they're nice and veiny. So you see that? So they have nice veins. that's where you're getting your pattern. You're not printing on the shiny side that we would see, really. We're printing on the underside where you've got the veins of the leaves. So these have all got a different, I'm going to show you the back sides of them. And this one, which is a beautiful colour. This is very soft though, that's the only thing. And you'll see where the hack of the sticky paper is going to help with controlling these leaves when we go to print, because that's the most difficult part. So choose leaves that have a really nice veiny texture on the back. Once you've got that done, you might want to take, I've taken 2 sheets. I'm going to set up 2 printing sheets effectively. And before, so the sticky side, I've peeled off the backing. They're here ready to accept the leaves. So I'm going to think about the design. So I'm just going to lay out what I want my 2 printing sheets to look like. And this is entirely up to you. You could do it going around in a circle. You could do them individually laid out like specimens, which might be nice. Like this. We'll try this little one. These are very small leaves, but we'll have a go and we'll see if we can make them work. So like little specimens laid out. That's quite cute. And then maybe a little bit here on the end. And then this one's a bit more free form. So I'm going to just let those take, not be too worried about where these ones are being placed. This is a little bit more free form. So once you've made those decisions, I'm going to move the extra leaves off the table. So now the idea is we're going to transfer, we're going to ink these up and we're going to transfer them carefully onto here. So inking up, we have our sheet of Perspex. I'm going to use a little, I'll show you how little ink you need. You really don't need very much ink at all. So just a little bit, like a pea size, big pea size, not 2. And then you're going to give it a good roll. Now this part, you want to roll it both ways and you want to get a nice, smooth, even surface of ink so that the entire roller is being inked. I want to hear that nice tacky sound. Now this is when it starts to get a little bit messy, so I'm going to have a couple of wipes here just so I can keep my hands as clean as possible while I'm doing this. And obviously you can see I'm wearing an apron, so if I need to I can just wipe my hands. Obviously this ink is for textiles, so you do not want to wear precious clothes or clothes that are going to be marked by that ink because it will not come off. So if you're wearing old clothes and you don't mind, or an old shirt inside out back to front, that's fine, but just be aware if you get it on your clothes it won't come off. So we'll start inking up. Now I'm going to hold it down and you can see I've just got them on top of a piece of kitchen roll just to make it a little bit easier for keeping the table tidy. And I want to put a good bit of ink on it. Now you can see, so I've inked it up and now I'm going to place it, we decided kind of like specimen. Now it should kind of, the sticky paper should grab it and hold it in place, and that's what makes it a really good hack, I think. And we'll place this one next to it, and again just within my nail I'm just pressing down. I obviously don't want to take the ink off it. Again, keep my hands as clean as possible. This little long one, we'll give it, again you want to make sure your entire roller is covered with the ink so that when you get a long roll, the whole part of the roller has ink on it. Often people will roll back and forth, but they're only covering part of the roller. You want to take a full roll, lift the roller up, and just get used to inking like that. We'll lift this one, we'll put it beside it. Again, you can see I'm trying not to touch the paper so we can keep the paper nice and clean. Now this one might be a little bit tricky because it's got a lot of leaves, but we'll have a go. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to just hold it down at the very end not too bad. I'm going to try and hold it at the back, get these last little leaves. Don't be too worried if you don't get the entire leaf inked up. You'll get the impression, literally, of the leaf. So just touch it down, try and make sure the paper is grabbing it. This is a great hack. I'm really impressed with this hack. This works really well. I've tried this before without doing this, and it can get very messy and fiddly trying to place the leaves down without them moving. So we'll see. Well, I've tried it already. I do know it works, so hopefully it'll work for you too. Again, right up, down the stalk. This one's quite large, so I'm going to lay it right across the bottom. Again, try and do it in one motion. You can play a little bit with it if the leaves get, but try not to, because the paper starts to get messy and we really don't want ink getting on the white parts, because obviously that will make an impression on whatever you are printing. Lastly, this one, and I'm going to just put this there. Now that's one ready to be printed. I'm going to go ahead and print that. We'll set up a second one afterwards. So just have a little, make sure your area is clean. We can get rid of that. We can move this out of the way a little. My area is nice and clean. We're going to lift our, obviously, this is where you just want to take a few moments. You've done all that work. You don't want to get your object or your textile piece really messy and ruin it. This one people can get very frustrated. It's very frustrating to get it dirty when you've done all this work. So take a moment just to get your hands clean. Again, an apron's a great thing because you can give it a good wipe. Now these IKEA tea towels have a little hanger at the top, so that's effectively the top. So you could hang it on a wall, or you could peg it up on a wall if you were making like a banner or poster to hang up in your room. Let me just move this one out of the way. Now put that down. The good thing about this ink is that, as opposed to other textile inks that can be quite watery and used maybe for screen printing or sponging on, which soaks right through the textile, so you would need to back this up with something. This ink isn't like that. You can press and it won't go through. So that's another reason why I like using it. So we're going to take this. Now ideally when we flip this over, these aren't going to move on us, which is great. That's exactly why we're using it. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to just use my hands to press down. And you can press quite hard at this stage. Again, this is another reason why you want your hands to be clean, because I don't want to be putting fingerprints, black fingerprints all over this. I'm going to pull that a little bit closer to me. And if I could find my rolling pin, I don't know what I've done with it. Rolling pin's gone missing. Oh, found it. So give the rolling pin a good roll. Now you're going to want to press quite hard. So if you're standing at a table, you're going to want to really press down on it, like as if you were doing press ups. Press right down on it and give it, and keep that pressure all the way to the end. Roll back, 2, and that should do it. Okay, now for the reveal. See if all this worked. So obviously that is going to stick to your textile, but it will come off. Keep peeling. At this stage we just want to be careful. Thought I was going to get a lovely reveal peel there, but no. I leave that. And you can see it came out really good. Now what we could do with this one is that we could try, there should be enough ink to do it twice, so I have flipped this over. So I'm not going to do it the same way, but you could if you wanted, but I'm just going to, for a little bit of variety, I'm going to flip this over And again, come in and press down really quite hard at this stage. We want to really create a good firm contact between the leaf, the inked up leaf, and your tea towel. So give them a good press. And then again, keep that firm. Now I'm pressing it more than twice. I'm rolling it more than twice because we've already taken some ink off this. So we want to get the rest of ink off it. So we probably need to just give it a little bit of a harder press and more often. So I'm going to give it 3 or 4 rolls up and down and even sideways. Okay. Now, again, peel this off. And you can see, because I'm pressing really quite hard, some of the green has come out, but that's not a bad thing. There we go. Now we can discard this. This is kind of no use really, and we don't want it messing anything up. So I'm going to suggest at this point that you just get rid of this. This is rubbish. So that's it. So we have our first tea towel printed. Now again, this can be printed on many different items. I'm going to go through and just really try a few other, and you'll see them in the next part. Some other examples of what you can print this on, but I think this is really effective and a really nice gift for somebody or just for yourself or to hang up on your wall.